Hi there and welcome to Andy Robinson RC. Cheers for joining us today on the channel and checking out this episode. Right, well we've got it going and here it is. It's the Tamiya Voltec Fighter, and if you didn't see the original video I posted up fairly recently about like an overview of this to give you an idea of what this chassis was, I'll put a link to that video in this description. Anyway, we're out here today in Blackpool and we found a lovely long straight, so we're going to give this a bit of a blast for you. Now what, before we do, I'm going to whip the shell off on this because I do go to more detail in the other video I did, but in case you haven't checked that out yet, there you go. This is the chassis it is here. It's basically a radio controlled version of the Tamiya 4-wheel drive mini cars that they run on the tracks, and again this was to bridge that gap between the 4-wheel drive mini racers and RC cars and trying to get younger generation into the hobby at the time. Now this is back in the late 90s. Unfortunately it didn't really work for Tamiya, but they gave it a go. Anyway, so I've got the electrics in. We put just a basic metal geared servo that I had lying around. It's got a 1060 Hobby Wing ESC, 2.4 gig radio, and I had a spare HPI 540 motor. Now when I was getting this going, I put the upgraded 540 motor mount that came with the car and the lightened prop shaft. Now, just to highlight something, what happened is, because this is an old chassis now, when I was putting this all together, unfortunately, under the cover here where the gears are for the front gearbox, two little mounts had snapped underneath. So when I was testing the car out to see if it worked, this was lifting, it was making a horrible grinding noise. So I've had to make a slight repair. I put a bead of super glue on the cover there, glued it down, and for now I've had to put some T-Rex tape just to hold it in place. Now that'll do for running it, and what I have sourced is a new chassis for this. So luckily it was cheap, so there'll be a new chassis on its way to go with this if I ever get rid of it. So yeah, so that was solved, but unfortunately with it being an older chassis, these things do happen. But I've got it going and it won't affect the running. So we're going to get this going and you'll be able to see it in action. Now, like I said in my original video, I haven't got the original wheels and tyres for this. These are some ones that someone's put on it. They're a little hard. The other tyres have got a bit more meat on them, so those are really quite hard tyres. And remember as well, there's no suspension on this whatsoever. Anyway, let's give it a bit of a go. Let's go give it a bit of a blast. But it's a good job it's not very lumpy this, because it'd pitch the car about a lot, but so it's only got a 13 tooth pinion on, so it's still not super quick, but it'll be quicker than what it did have, and it is losing the back end quite easily, but you can see it bouncing about because there's no suspension on it at all, but it is quite fun. So it's really cool to see one of these going. I can hear a little crack, so maybe that repair hasn't gone too well. But other than that, it sounds pretty smooth. Ooh. Oh, rescued it. I thought I was going to have to go and get it then. So yeah, as you can see. But yeah, that looks quite cool going around. It's a bit of a weird looking thing, but you know, it's good to see them going about. I've done it again. That was like oh no, I've got that beach this time, haven't I? Yeah, now stuck. Slide on these tyres. I've even turned the dual rate down to not get as much steering input. Probably should be a bit more gentle with it. Yeah. Anyway, so at least we got it going. It does need that repair to it with the new chassis, really. But it is cool to see it blasting about. As I said, link to description this video to my other video. And yeah, I've also got that new body that's come for it as well. So we might get this back on the channel at some point. I'm not decided. But anyway, that was the Tamiya Voltec Fighter on their step up from their 4-wheel drive mini series into radio control. Anyway, cheers for checking this video out, much appreciated as always, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, it's much appreciated. Also, check us out on Facebook and Instagram under Andy Robinson RC. Right, I'm going because it's very windy and I'm a bit cold. Anyway, see you all soon, look after yourselves and take care. See ya.